Welcome to the Excuse Smashers podcast.
Hey, this is Tim Kaufman. Thank you so much for joining me as I talk to some of the most amazing people on the planet about excuses and why they didn't let excuses hold them back from a plant-based lifestyle. So sit down, buckle up, and hang on as my guests show you how to
Smash excuses.
All right, Josh Turner, what a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to meet you too, brother.
Man, it's been a while. It's fun following you on Facebook. But so the first question I'm going to ask you, if you could just take a couple minutes and explain to us how a plant-based lifestyle changed your life.
Well, plant-based diet has actually given my life back, because before I was just living in a world where I was just doing what I wanted, and I was just eating what I wanted, and doctors were always on me. A1Cs were out the roof. Went to my doctors and they told me, you need to do something with your life. He said, yeah, your A1Cs are 8s, 9s, but he's like, look at you, what you gonna do with your life? So I started going around thinking about, hey, let me do what Josh Ajani's doing, because he's doing good with it. Let me try it. So I started doing experiments with it, and I would try to eat a little meat and then check my blood sugars, and it would be sky high in the morning. So I said, man, let me just do vegetables, just eat vegetables. I would eat vegetables, and man, my sugars were like great. I had colitis, and that's gone because of eating vegetables and plant-based diet. All that's gone. I run like a gazelle. How many people can say they can run like that? And like today, before I got to come talk to you, I went run 3 miles, and I felt like I could go more, but I had to talk to you, So I was like, man, I got to get home.
So it sounds like you had obviously a lot of medical changes. What about, did you shed any weight doing this?
Oh, well, I was up to 230 pounds. And when I started getting on a plant-based diet, I started slow at first. And then I got full-blown with it about 6 months ago. Well, the pounds just started coming off the more meat I left alone. And I'm like, man, like, what's going on? And the more I ate, like, vegetables, I was like, man, I'm losing all kind of weight. And I ended up losing 96 pounds.
Wow.
And that's, everybody used to call me the fat guy and all this, and I'm shedding all these pounds, and nobody's like, they thought I was sick. And I'm like, man, I'm more healthy than I've ever been in my life. That's I don't know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it sounds like you're having a lot of success with it. So this is Excuse Smashers, as you know. And
Yes.
One excuse I get all the time is for type 2 diabetes. They're type 2 diabetes people are usually afraid to change their diet. But to be honest with you, I've only talked to a couple type 1. And I know that type 1 and type 2 are completely different animals.
Different.
And so the excuse that I would like to ask you to smash today is I'm type 1, so I can't even begin to even imagine being plant-based. So my first question is, why do you think I asked you to smash this excuse?
Well, you asked me to smash it because I'm actually doing it. There's millions of type 2s out there that won't even try it. Yeah, I've talked to them a million times, and they're like, man, I can't give up meat. They don't understand how much that meat is hurting them. It's making your sugars go up. It makes you diabetic in the first place. I'm just so happy that I tried it, and now I'm stuck with it. I'm going to do it the rest of my life because I'm so healthy. It's helping millions of people, like Josh and all his friends. They're all doing it, and man, they're so healthy, just like you. How healthy are you,
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy.
My type 1 diabetes is almost non-existent, but I can't get rid of it.
Right.
Because
So
I always have a pump on my side.
so when did you get diagnosed with type 1?
It was 30 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
I was
And
11.
how old are you?
39. So I was 9 years old.
Oh, so you were super young. So you've been living with this your whole life, basically.
Yes. And
Okay.
when you're 9 years old and they take candy away from a kid, but come on, man, I can't have cake anymore.
Right. So can, like, really super quick, can you just give us a super quick rundown of what the difference between type 1 and type 2 are? Because I know they get confused a lot.
Type 1 is there's a autoimmune deficiency in my body that my insulin doesn't work. So I have to get a foreign object. A pig gives me insulin. Kind of funny, right? A pig saves my life with their insulin because it takes the blood, sugar out of my blood. In type 2s, they're on pills, or if they're real bad, they get on insulin, but they can get off of it. Me, I can't. I always have this pump. They're trying to say they're doing this research, but it's non-existent at this point.
So am I thinking right that you actually can't make insulin where a type 2 can't absorb insulin? Is that right?
Correct. My insulin that my body produces, my immune system attacks it and it makes it non-existent. So it's not actually, my body can't use it. So
Right.
I have to use a foreign insulin. I don't know why that's, the insulin in my body doesn't work, but that's the gist of it.
Right. And then type 2, their bodies make insulin, they just can't absorb it. And we're going to talk about that in another episode,
Wait.
actually.
Yeah, they're overweight, and with normal exercise, and if they eat like we eat, it would be gone.
Yeah.
It would absolutely be gone.
For sure. Okay, so my next question for you is, can you give some examples in your daily life, and maybe it's not so much now anymore, but back when you started to make the transition, can you give some examples of challenges that you faced, maybe what people told you, or what you thought was the norm?
Well, like many people say down here south, they're always balling crawfish, they're always balling crabs. It's always, every weekend is nothing but meat everywhere. And they're like, man, you got to eat it. I'm like, I don't want to eat it anymore. That's not me anymore. And they'll want you to go to the restaurants, order the biggest steak. Man, you got to eat this. You got to eat this. No, I'm not eating it. It's every day you have a challenge of like people just harassing you to eat stuff that you don't eat anymore. And it's a constant battle with them. And my nutritionist, man, you got to eat your meat, get your protein. And I try to explain to her, well, there's protein in almost everything. And it was a big battle with her too.
Now, what about as far as the type 1? What did they say about like carbohydrates?
Well, carbohydrates, they want you to eat a certain amount of them. But I found out that's irrelevant because I eat tons of carbs and it doesn't affect anything. Because the insulin, when I eat meat, the insulin doesn't work as well. When I eat vegetables, the insulin works very well, and I know how to get to it and how to do it better with vegetables than with the meat, because the meat is like making the insulin slower. So
Right.
without the meat, I'm more healthy.
So what did your doctor say when you said that you were going to try something new?
Well, actually, my doctor is pretty cool because he was like, man, if it's gonna work, try it. And I tried it, and when I first went in there, I weighed 230 pounds when I first went to see him.
Mm-hmm.
The next time I went in, I lost like 40 pounds. And
Wow.
he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of trying to leave meat alone. And he's like, man, well, something's working. And I kept on slowly weaning myself off of meat. And then all of a sudden, my A1Cs were 6. I don't know if you might want to do some research on it. A1Cs is a 3-month period. It tells you what your sugars are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that 3-month period, it's a 6. That's like what your blood sugars would be. It's just blowing him away. And he's like, there's nothing I can tell you that you're not doing already.
That's amazing. It's seriously amazing. Can you think of any other challenges that you faced because of the type 1 going plant-based?
Well, let me think about that.
I mean, I know we all have challenges that we put up with people giving us crap and stuff. But I think like for you, like for me, it was just a thing. It was like cultural, and it's just what I've always done. But for you, you got a medical condition attached to it that typically I feel like you're eating the complete opposite of most type 1 diabetics. So no one told you, dude, you're gonna kill yourself by doing this.
Oh well, the nutritionist, she said that, but most nutritionists don't really know what they're doing. I've figured that out because she was like, I was 230 pounds and she weighed 340 pounds, and I'm like, who do I listen to?
Right.
I obviously listened to the people that actually knew what they were doing.
Right. And right? I'm just curious. Is your insulin like? I don't know how it works. Do you have a pump?
Yes, I have a pump. I can show it to you if you want.
No, it's all right.
No, yes, there it is.
Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, I think I've seen one. Do they put them on your arm too?
I put them on my arm, my leg.
Yeah.
Bad thing about it, the challenge is with that, it falls off all the time with all the running I do.
Yeah, right. So, is there a difference in the output of the insulin, or is that about the same?
No, it's my insulin actually is lower now because I'm plant-based.
Dude,
Before
that's
I was
awesome.
having to give it myself, like in the morning, I was recovering the whole time from the meat. My sugars would be high, so I'm trying to recover the whole time. Like the whole day, I'm trying to get my sugars back under control.
Right.
Like with being plant-based, you don't have to fight anything because the insulin is doing its job.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It really is. I'm so happy for you, Josh. It's not even funny. So, so my last question is for people out there with type 1, and maybe you can even be more general than that. What are some tools that you use to overcome this excuse of type 1?
Get up, move around, get up, do some exercise, leave meat alone. Leave meat alone. It's going to cure you, I swear. Type 2s, you'll be cured. Type 1s will make your sugars the best that has ever been in your life. Leave it alone. But you have to get up and move too. You have to. When you move with type 1 diabetics, it makes the insulin work better. It makes the insulin work better. It brings your sugars down. Get up. If I could do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like you've done it. We've
Yeah.
all done it.
And I feel like that's important to leave the meat alone and the dairy and the processed stuff. But moving, I was thinking about today when we were running. You get your heart rate up, because I was actually thinking about you in this interview. Just by the fact that your heart rate is higher, your blood is pumping through faster, and everything can work better because your liver's filtering better, and like you say, the insulin, and it's all moving at a faster rate, so it can clean itself out easier.
Yep. Well, like you were just saying, my kidneys are perfect. My cholesterol is non-existent. They said I had colitis at one point. That is gone. Like the inflammation of the intestines, all right, where does that come from? That's gone. Just like you say, if you get up, you move around, get your heart rate up, it's making that insulin work better. It's making your whole body work better.
Yeah, and I feel like it's such a I think Dr. Campbell calls it a symphony of things going on in your body, and there's so many things that are connected, and when you kind of just can't fix one, you gotta go after everything, and it all kind of works together, and
Yep.
that's super, super cool.
Because man, before man, I couldn't even get up and move. Like I was stuck in a chair most of the time. When I wasn't working, I was stuck in a chair. I wasn't being with people or anything.
Yeah. This is kind of personal. If you don't want to answer, that's cool. But do you think you used the type 1 as an excuse for a lot of stuff?
Oh, back in the day I did. I used it as a pity party,
Yeah.
and I used it a lot, especially when my mom was alive. I used it a lot with her, and when she passed away, it ballooned me out of control, and that's how I got up to 230 pounds too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about your mom, man.
It
It sucks. It sucks having a loved one pass, for sure. But I mean, for me, my story. I kind of used it as a springboard it kind of woke me up, actually.
I used it a lot, and I would use it to get out of stuff, like out of work, out of everything.
Yeah.
When I was young, I got out of school because I used it as a crutch, and
Right.
that crutch is gone.
Yeah. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. So anything else you can think of before we wrap this thing up?
Man, just everybody get up and move. You have to move. What's your famous saying?
Eat plants, move your body. All you got to do is a little more than you did yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. Josh, I cannot thank you enough for stopping in. And, man, I can't believe, type 1 and you're doing it, and you're doing it really good. You're killing it, man. So
Sure
I
am.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Might get to meet you in person one day.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
All right.
I am so happy I got to talk with Josh. We've been friends on Facebook for a while, and he's such an awesome guy. He is just on fire, and it's just so cool that not only is he plant-based, and I know where he lives, it's totally against his culture, and I see on Facebook he kind of takes a little crap from people, kind of picking on him and arguing with him, but he's a tough dude, and I can't believe he's doing this with type 1. It blows my mind that he's just not letting it hold him back. And we talked a little bit after, and he was kind of nervous, so he forgot to say a couple of things, but one of the things that he said is, he has an insulin pump, and he said it kind of makes it difficult, when he's running, that, the thing's falling off and stuff, so... he has so many excuses that he could just say, screw this, this is just the way it is, and it's the way it's going to be, and just going to do my thing and survive. But, he chooses not to, and he chooses to have this awesome life, and he's a beast runner, and he's changing the world. And it's so cool. So it's pretty obvious that with Josh Turner, the whole type 1 diabetes, it's
Smash.